Plaintiff Christopher Nye owns a tavern and some rental properties in a small town in Wisconsin. Christopher says he got a call one night saying there was an accident at one of his properties, and when he showed up, he saw a pool of blood and a shattered window. Christopher later learned that the defendant broke the window and nearly severed his hand, so he's suing. Defendant Alec Barron says he was in Christopher's small town because there was a festival going on. Alec started drinking at 11 in the morning, and at 1 a.m., he was going from one bar to the next when he tripped on a glass bottle and fell into the plaintiff's window.
Tell me what happened.
I own a tavern and some rental properties in the state of Wisconsin, in a small town. On October 4th of 2008, I received a phone call from my local authorities telling me that there was an incident at one of my properties. When I arrived on the scene, I found a 6-foot by 6-foot plate glass window smashed, a pool of blood, and an extensive blood trail all the way down the sidewalk. I do have pictures of those windows.
Did you know this gentleman?
I have never met him before this incident.
Now, this is the repair, or?
Yeah, that's the repair job. It was the center window in those three.
All right. What town is this?
It's like Mayville, Wisconsin.
What's that?
Mayville, Wisconsin.
This downtown?
This is downtown.
Yeah, looks like it.
You like small towns?
This looks like someplace I'd enjoy. You know, I'm tired of these big cities. Go downtown. What's the name of that? Main Street?
Main Street.
I guess people romanticize about it. I might last 1 week, but it looks like a peaceful place to live. What does the defendant have to do with it? Obviously, he either threw a rock or more than a rock. What happened?
Well, like I said, when I arrived on the scene, the officer that was on duty on the spot had told me that they had taken the defendant in an ambulance and that they had to fight for life him down to a Milwaukee hospital.
Wow.
Because his hand had almost been severed with this window breaking. And he had stated that the defendant was quite intoxicated and that he wasn't sure whether or not the defendant had claimed that he had tripped and fell into this window, but the police officer tended to think that he might have been roughhousing with one of his friends or got into an argument or a fight or whatever. I know the gentleman that the police officer told me that he was with was also well known by the police department, so they thought that maybe he had something to do with it.
Let me hear from you, sir.
All right, well, back October 3rd of last year of 08, went to Mayville was having a party called Arbon Days, which they have a big party on the street. They have bed races, you know, people of 4.
Bed races?
Bed races. Yeah. They have groups of 4.
What is that?
They race each other on beds downtown. And they race each other. Groups of 4, you know, they get all silly.
4 people lay on a mattress?
Well, 2 people pushing and 2 people are laying.
Actually, 1 person on the mattress and 4 people pushing.
2 people, so a group of 3, yeah.
That's the feature of entertainment for the city.
The Audubon festivities is it's a 3-day-long event, and to start it off, what they do on the Friday night is they shut down Main Street, and then the local bars, local factories, everything else, they sponsor beds, and they get a team of 5 people together, and they race an obstacle course down the Main Street. You're allowed to drink on the street and everything else while the street is closed. It's quite a big event.
You ever heard of that anywhere else?
No.
Okay. No, it sounds like something you might want to make a documentary of. But I want to see it. I want to see it just by you talking about it. What time of year?
October. It's always the first weekend in October.
First week in October. Mayberry?
Mayville, Wisconsin.
Mayville. All right.
Pretty close.
We missed this year, but may pay a visit. That's something I'd like to see. I'm very curious to see that.
I get a kick out of it.
How do they determine the winner? Whoever ends up at the...
It's time trials. They actually time it. It's quite they've been doing this for 20 years, so.
All right. Would you watch that?
Yeah, I'd watch
The Judge Mathis hosts and judges the mattress races in Mayville.
Wisconsin.
Would you pay?
No. But I'd watch it.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
So anyway, my aunt and uncle the week before told me to come out to Mayville. They live a couple blocks away from downtown. So now I don't have to drive. I can go out there and have a really good time. So I get there around 11 in the afternoon, start drinking, having a good time, go downtown. Bed races start around 2 or 3, you know. Everybody gets up out of the bar, everybody in town comes and watches it, all watching it. So the bed races happen, 7 o'clock comes around, everybody's got to go inside, no more open intoxicants on the street. I'll go in, start having a good time. 1 o'clock comes around, me, my buddy, and my sister. Said, all right, let's go to another bar. You know, that's what we do, we bar hop. Start walking down the street, and the streets is just littered with garbage. I mean, there's just garbage everywhere from everybody partying on the street and just littered. I mean,
That's what happens at most festivals.
so I'm walking out, going next bar. I trip over a glass bottle. I slip right over it, go right through this big window.
You didn't see it?
No, I mean, there's garbage everywhere. I mean, and
You
that's
were
an accident.
intoxicated, right?
I was pretty intoxicated.
When accidents happen and you're intoxicated, there's a presumption that you're negligent.
Sure.
According to the police report, he was 3 times the legal limit.
Wow.
I do have a copy of the
You
police
weren't
report if
walking?
you'd like to see that.
You weren't walking? You were stumbling, sir. You weren't walking at all. Were you about that 3 times the legal limit?
Yeah,
sir?
and ambulance, I think they say I blew a .26.
Why don't you think you should pay this man?
The streets are littered. I mean, at wintertime, when there's 3 feet of snow, these guys are liable to shovel that. I mean, I could walk down the street and slip on ice, and he's liable for it.
No, you're not liable.
I mean, it was at 1 o'clock.
If it's open and apparent, you're not, because they know that if it's open and apparent, you're supposed to walk around. If you see a big hole in the middle of the street and you walk straight to that hole and you just fall into the hole, when the hole was open and apparent, that's called an open and apparent danger. You have to avoid it. You can't walk in, I'm gonna sue. You knew you were intoxicated. You knew there was litter on the ground. So you shouldn't have been walking around sloppy drunk, number one. If you're sloppy drunk, you don't walk.
But I wasn't sloppy drunk. I
3
was
times the legal limit.
I was completely fine. I was completely walking on my way.
But you just didn't see a bottle.
Because there was garbage everywhere on the whole street. The whole sidewalk
Many
was just
people
littered.
many people can step on bottles and not go through a window.
But at 7 o'clock, that's when nobody could have beer on the street, and this was at 1. Why wasn't it picked up?
It was open and apparent, sir. Judgment for the plaintiff. You have no reasonable defense, sir. Your defense fails. Good luck to you, sir. I hope you've kind of tailored your drinking down a little bit. Judgment for you. Good luck to you. Have a good day.
Well, I got to get a flight for life all the way down to Freighter Hospital in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I had complete laceration of all my tendons and my nerves. It cost me about $40,000, and well, that's how it happened.
Hi, Judge Mathis. My name's Emily. My question is, I have this friend, and I loaned money to her, but I didn't put like a date on the promissory note that I made her sign. How long do I have to wait before I can sue her?
Well, Emily, if your friend told you she has no intention of paying you, then yes, you can sue her right away. This is called an anticipatory breach of contract, meaning she has breached it because she told you that she wasn't going to pay you. So you can anticipate it and you can sue immediately.